This next ad comes to you from a company that's cooking the best omelets you'll have all year, all while changing the world one egg at a time. It's called Just Egg, and I'm happy to tell you about it because Just Egg is a cholesterol-free, plant-based egg that will give you the most decadent quiches of your life, the fluffiest scrambles, and the easiest egg sandwiches. Or in my case in particular, I love a good Just Egg scramble in the morning on an English muffin, a little bit of cheese and beautiful barbecue sauce. I think it's fantastic and it tastes great. And Just Egg has about the same protein as a chicken egg, but with much less saturated fat. Plus, Just Egg is packed with cholesterol-lowering polyunsaturated fat. Chicken eggs have severe FOMO when they look at Just Egg, and that's really the important part for me. In order for Just Egg to be successful, I think it really needs to make sure that it tastes good and is good for you, and I can happily say it ticks both of those boxes. As someone who loves eating eggs every morning, I've had to cut it back in recent years, basically because of health concerns. There's a lot of cholesterol in regular eggs, but I'm excited to have found an alternative that is good for me and good for the environment. In 2022, may your eggs be filled with Just Egg. Just Egg, really good eggs.
You might not like it, but this is what the peak male athletic form looks like, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, March 15th. Here we are back in the Classic Factory. I'm J.E. Skeets alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
That's what I say looking in the mirror every day.
Yeah. We got our top shot hot boy, ribbon them lips, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-yo. The international man of mystery, taking it to the max. He's just a real good egg. Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lee. And finally making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, share the show in that order and only that order, please. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Never know where we're going to hit the beach. I bet we hit the beach later this week. I guarantee
Tomorrow, I bet.
Tomorrow. Interesting. Not a lot of games on tonight.
That's right.
Might be a great time to hit the beach. So
That's
get your
right.
questions in. Grab yourself an Athletic subscription if you haven't. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. $1 a month for 6 months for new subscribers. So take advantage of that. And this is fun. Later today, 4 guys who know next to nothing about the NCAA tournament or, obviously league, college basketball in general. We're going to fill out a March Madness bracket together.
Okay.
Yeah, you can join us live this afternoon. This is a YouTube exclusive on No Dunkers. So we'll shoot to go live around 1 p.m. Eastern time. Lee, who you liking?
Ooh,
who's your Cinderella?
Oh, I like the Tar Heels. Give me some Blue Devils. I like the Orangemen. Give me some Wolverines.
I'm not kidding, guys. We know almost nothing about college basketball. We focus mainly on the NBA, but why? Hey, maybe we get lucky and win $1 million doing this together. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
The perfect bracket.
No one's ever done it, have they? Ever?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's virtually impossible.
Right.
So.
So that's going to be a blast as we fill out our March Madness bracket. We're going to get a whole group set up too. We'll be sharing that with everybody for you to go fill out your bracket.
Just tweeted it, bro.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
nice.
Get in there and see who reigns supreme. Maybe I'm sure we can put some Breaking Team merchandise up for the winner of this whole thing. But it's just going to be us.
Yeah, it's just going to be us. I mean... South Dakota State Jackrabbits back at it again.
Hell yeah,
I mean,
that's
we're
our
going to
team.
pick them for sure. So if they win, we're guaranteed to win this bracket championship.
But that is later today, filling out our March Madness bracket again around 1 p.m. Eastern, just on YouTube. We got so much to talk about when it comes to the NBA last night. We had a couple guys returning. We obviously had a little MVP battle between Jokic and Embiid. But before all of that, we had Karl-Anthony Towns scoring an NBA season best 60 points as the Wolves beat the Spurs. JD, hit the music.
Wow.
Yeah, that's for the Wolves fans out there. Tweeting that in, specifically at Wolves of Soda. So something they're doing, Lee. They're adding to it with every win.
Yeah. Aren't you going to play that tune? Is that right?
Yeah. The original pitch was that if the Wolves go to the conference finals like they did in 2004, I will. But at this point, I'm going to play the song if they make it to the real playoffs.
Okay.
They're in the play-in right now, so if they advance to the top 8 seeds and get a real playoff game, all
right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Let's get into this Karl-Anthony Towns performance, though, Tassa. Again, 60 points in regulation, not an overtime game.
Yeah.
Here. What do you think?
Well, it was cool the way he started the game because you'd think maybe he just starts popping threes, but really he was going to the hoop, and not in a traditional post-up sense, but picking and rolling first possession, gets it up top, goes right at Poeltl in the lane, and Karl-Anthony Towns is so good at taking a bump and going off balance, doing a 1-2 and maintaining that balance and putting it up off the glass with no air, obviously, because he's a monstrous man. So he's just pretty elegant the way he does that for a monstrous man. He hit that bucket, and I think that just kind of started to get him going because he's so good at taking that contact, and that inside game opened up the outside game later. So in the first half, he only hit 1 3-point shot, and this was a very close game. And he had 24 at the half. But in the third quarter, after going up against Poeltl and poor Zach Collins in the first half, going through them, the shot started falling. And he started banging home threes in a 32-point third quarter. And again, this game was pretty close, but then when the threes started falling, he hit 5 threes in the quarter. That's when the spread started to come, and that's when he started really, really, really feeling it with a dirty sidestep 3 in the corner. And we're talking about a 7-footer who pump fake, put the ball on the floor, sidestep, bangs home that 3. And then he did it from the top. Just absolutely feeling every single touch. And it went all the way down to the end of the fourth. The fourth, he got cold. He didn't really score until very, very late. I mean, he didn't have to play much because they got a big spread, but he had 57 with 2 minutes left. And he knew that. It was quite evident. He knew that. 2:30 left. He bombed away. It clanked. Next possession, let me do that again. Bombed away. Even deeper. 31-footer. Yes! And that gives him 60 points on the evening. So a very well-rounded game. Started inside. Again, the pick and roll, not traditional post-ups, but pick and roll. Then he started going outside, and just absolutely an ocean out there that he was shooting into. Again, because I think he started inside, and then the threes started falling. So, 7 threes on the evening, 7 of 9 from outside, but a well-rounded game. Obviously hit well at the line as well. Karl. Beautiful game for him.
Flirted with some beef there, too. He plays more in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably gets it 17 rebounds.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've got a cat. This cat drives me insane because he'll sit by the door, meow, meow, meow until I let him out. Goes outside. As soon as he's outside, meow, meow, meow until I let him back in, and then he goes to the other door to leave that way. And that's what I feel like Poeltl must have felt like last night, because there was nothing he could do to stop Karl-Anthony Towns. Like you're saying, Tass, it was inside, it was outside, it was at the free throw line. He was meowing all night long. It used to be just Kevin Durant, like a 7-footer that could put the ball on the floor and get to the hoop and then also make 7 threes. And we saw 3 guys doing it last night between Karl-Anthony Towns, Jokic, and Embiid. So this was incredible stuff. I think Towns is such a funny guy to watch. You call it elegant. I feel like he's very flaily. I feel like his arms and legs are going out to every single direction when he's driving the ball. And then when he finishes at the hoop, he kind of goes... like he gets very excited for his
He's an underrated, very sweaty guy.
He's an underrated, sweaty guy for sure. I think on the thumbnail of this, he's like dripping in sweat on the YouTube. But this was an incredible performance. 32 points in a quarter. Like, I saw people tweeting, Karl-Anthony Towns has 56 and 14 at the end of 3 quarters, and it seems like a joke because those are just numbers that you wouldn't actually believe happened. But this was real stuff, and I just got to say, what a season from Poeltl we've seen here. He was on the receiving end of the jaw dunk.
Yeah.
He became a game. Wordle became Poeltl. Now we're suddenly guessing players. He had the party with Greg Popovich, and then he just got 60 points dropped on his head.
Yeah. The Popovich thing's a problem, too, because he won't double anybody. Popovich, like Devin Booker respects Greg Popovich because he'll never double in any situation.
Right.
I mean, he's going single coverage every single time. Like Morant destroys him. Like they don't get the ball out of his hands. Pop's teaching lessons here.
Yeah. Towns was putting him on Poeltl. I thought Zach Collins was a pylon too.
Yeah.
Cat was just one step around him, but he attacked, and then he had the 3-ball going. Yeah, 32 in the third quarter. I don't want to gloss over that. That's the fourth most in a single quarter in the past 25 years. That's a hell of a lot of points.
Yeah, Clay, obviously, and Kevin Love, is that the other one?
Well, there's obviously 3 more. I don't know have the entire list in front of me, but it's 32 in 1 Q. What are you adding here to the Cat performance?
Not much. I mean, it was obviously fantastic in that third quarter. He just gets hot. He was feeling it. He was wanting the ball. He wanted to shoot the threes, and he was knocking them in. And when you think about Greg Popovich and what his staple is for the game, it's defense. And teams tend to not, run up the score against them. They put up 149 points. Now, obviously, it's not the Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan era here,
No.
but still, they gave up 46 points alone in that third quarter. That's just not something we usually associate with Popovich. Somehow you'd think he would just say, let's somehow shut these guys down, but it didn't really happen. Just happy for the Timberwolves. They do seem to have just gotten over that hump of like, they're going to blow a game here. We know that they did that, of course, against Orlando, but they've bounced back since then. 2 really good wins, and Towns has to look. Poeltl's not a bad defender. I mean, he's a good defender. Collins, no, not so much. But Towns has got to look at these guys and just go, they can't stop me. And I've got range. I can mix up the game. You mentioned the 16 free throw attempts, so he wasn't just firing away from 3 last night. That's what I like to see, because that is going to be the next elevation of his growth. It's like, okay, you take away the 3-pointer, he's going to pound you inside. You try to pack the paint against him, he's going to spread the floor and stretch out and knock it down. So that's what you want to see from a franchise star. He was back in the All-Star team this year. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. Let's see how far they can take it now, because there's some feeling there that they're not just there to make up the numbers. It's going to be tough in the playoffs, that is, but there's some belief here because Towns is so good.
There's a little speed racing going on outside.
No breaks. Premieres tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube.
Was that Hamilton or Verstappen? That was 200.
Yeah, I think that was somebody's in the DRS zone.
That was crazy. I got a little trivia for you off his Towns performance. He's the 5th center with a 60-point game. Can you name the other 4?
Wilt.
Shaq.
Okay, Wilt, Shaq. This is the last one since Shaq did it on his birthday. Remember
David
back in 2000? David Robinson, good call. And then the other one, it could be honestly, we think Dickie might be your dad, but this guy could be your dad.
My dad.
George Mikan?
George Mikan. You're old enough.
I think he could have got to the line even more. There was a lot of calls that he threw up his hands, did one of these, and we saw a lot. Embiid and Jokic going at each other. Jokic didn't get a call. We're seeing a lot of the drivers from the outside because it's just hard to post up. These big dudes driving in, and it's so hard for the officials to call because it's a collision. Like that car just could have had out there. I mean, that's a 1-lane road out there. I don't know what's going on. It is dangerous. I'm worried about my car on the street out there.
Back to the body shop.
Yeah, back.
Are you on the
going
street?
Back.
I'm on the street today.
I got in the driveway. I got to
check my tracks. I hope he hit it.
Be a good story. It's good for the show. Anyways, he could have got to the line a lot more. It's just it's a difficult thing. Like, Karl-Anthony Towns. You said he's non-elegant. I think I was thinking about him. Watching him, I thought about Kevin Durant because there aren't 7-footers that drive like that. There's just not. There's 2, and one is not a real 7-footer in Kevin Durant. So you have to compare him to KD, and Karl-Anthony Towns is just a mammoth man. He's under control somehow. I mean, there's just not. He's a different guy. I mean, he started a lot early in his career in the post, but it's just not happening anymore with the way the game is going. But again, he's driving real hard.
So here's the question off of this. Cat is super max extension eligible if he's named to the All-NBA this season. So we'd be talking like 4 years, $205 million here, by way of Bobby Marks, who's always crunching the numbers. Is Towns going to make an All-NBA team? This with obviously the dilemma being, well, if only Jokic or Embiid is the only center on the All-NBA first team, they're automatically the second one. Whoever doesn't is on the second team. And then it's like, is Towns the third all-team All-NBA center, or is it Gobert? Is there? I mean, Bam missed a lot of time, or is it Towns? I mean, especially with the record right now.
I think Towns is in the box seat right now for sure, because the offense just stands out more than what Rudy does defensively. Rudy, he's a very, very impactful player, but Towns
getting his team into the playoffs. There's a bit of a narrative there behind it. He was back in the All-Star game, as I mentioned. He's great. I definitely think he's ahead. I think Bam's just missed too much time. I really do. And I just don't think he's had as good a season as Towns. He's been great, but Towns has had a fantastic season. So, yes, I think third team. He's certainly not getting in second team if those guys can't share it,
right?
Which is
and then
weird.
there's this whole thing. Yeah, they could be both on the first
Yeah.
team, so who knows? There's the possibility. I believe that Towns could be put in as a forward, even though he doesn't play, forward. They seem to just change the rules every single season when it comes to these and where guys can go. Is DeRozan a guard or is he a forward? Is Tatum a guard? Whatever. Blah blah blah. Anyway, do you think he is deserving of let's say the third spot on an All NBA team?
100%. He better be there.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think that's common because of recency, because we watched 60 points. The guy can score. Rudy struggles in that department. I mean, we're watching Karl-Anthony Towns just drop 60. The record is not much worse than the Utah Jazz.
They're close.
The Timberwolves have now reached the 70-game mark, which is weird. They're 40-30. They only have two fewer wins than the Utah Jazz. So that's, to me, you got to be able to be a bucket. You got the internet has to be able to say that guy's a bucket for you to make an All NBA team, and Rudy Gobert does not fit that category. I mean, if you're one of the top three centers in the world, you got to be able to score at any time. For me, I struggle sometimes to put Rudy on there, and Karl-Anthony Towns is swiping it from him, undoubtedly for me.
Oh, I thought you were going like a cat.
Like a cat?
Like a cat
Nice.
there.
Nah.
27-11 since the All-Star break for Towns, playing only 30 minutes a game. I think the Wolves are 9-2 since then. So he's kind of peaking right now, basically since winning the three-point contest. He's already played 10 more games than Gobert has, basically 20 more games than Bam has. So I think Towns is looking good. Third team most likely, unless there's some shenanigans with regards to positions.
Well, awesome performance there from Cat. So there you go, Wolves fans. We finally started with Minnesota. Nora was a fan of the jerseys they were wearing last night. Those highlighters.
The green ones.
Yeah, the neons. You said neons in this spring.
Can't
fashion.
deny it.
Is
Can't
that
deny
true?
it. Yeah, I mean, people love a Volt colorway, but I can't believe how long those have stuck around. Those to me look like, the kind of jersey that gets replaced every single year. What are those ones called right now? Statement? Are those who knows? Whatever. City edition. But they've been wearing these for like 5 seasons or something like that. I think they usually wear them on Saturdays. But I mean, if Towns is hanging 60, maybe they'll become the official jersey of the Timberwolves.
All right, well, let's get to the one game that a lot of eyeballs were on last night. Jokic helping the Nuggets hold off Embiid and the 76ers in Philly. Denver gets the dub. What were your big takeaways, Trey?
Well, my main number one takeaway is that Bones Hyland, welcome to the MVP conversation. Welcome to the table, buddy. It was all about the big boys coming in. This was going to be the MVP deciding game between Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Yeah, sure, I know what you're saying. One game in the middle of March. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But it was probably the skinniest dude on the court who won this one for the Nuggets. 21 points on the night for Bones Hyland. He hit 4 threes. All of them came in the fourth quarter. 3 of them came back-to-back-to-back jacks. A step back, which was nice. Then he hit a shot from basically the logo, and I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Then he hit a pull-up on the break, and it was a let's go, Bones! 9 points in 79 seconds. He hit his fourth with just under 2 minutes left. Embiid basically helped way too far. Wide open, bangering. Put the Nuggets up, but the Sixers still had a chance. They had the ball down 3 after a Will Barton free throw. Embiid caught the ball at the top of the key. I saw you tweeted this, Tass. I thought the same. Looked like he had a three-pointer. He had been shooting the ball pretty well, though a tip of the cap to Nikola Jokic on that one. I thought he was giving Embiid so much space in the first half to shoot his threes. Did not have it on this one. He's up maybe 4 or 5 more feet. Whatever the case, it made Embiid think about it. He moves the ball to the corner. George Niang off the top of the corner of the glass. That was an ugly one. Followed his shot, though. Got to follow your shot. Gets the board. 3 seconds left. Timeout. Just sitting there. Instead, Niang shoots a floater. Down 3. Whoops. Weird stuff from the Sixers on the final possession. Embiid, like we said, I think he had a shot. Niang could have called timeout. Doc Rivers could have called timeout. But
could have passed the maxi there.
There were several things that you could have done, except for, I would say number one to not do is a 2-point attempt with 3 seconds left. Down 3. So that's the game. How about the MVP race? It's a draw.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was a draw last night. 22-13, 8, 2 steals and 2 blocks for Jokic. 34, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks for Embiid. That's just kind of their general stuff. I thought Embiid outplayed Jokic for the most part when they were on the floor together.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
but then the Nuggets and Jokic get the win, and Jokic hit a crazy circus shot at the end that probably should have been the sixth foul on Embiid.
Yeah,
I mean, it should have been.
It definitely should have been. Embiid was trying to grift at that point. That was the problem. He didn't score a basket the last 5 minutes, 15 seconds of this game. Didn't score a point the last 3 minutes and 13 seconds. He was just trying to draw fouls. But I like to see the respect that they had for each other. Embiid loves to talk trash to another superstar big man. Not Jokic, though. He respects Jokic too much. They were like joking and laughing for a lot of this one, except for Jokic got very upset when he didn't get that call on that really, really weird floater. He was so angry when he was running back down the court. The guy looked ferocious right there. But awesome game. Well, fun game. I wouldn't say it was an awesome game. The crowd kind of was weak, I actually thought.
100% agree with this.
Sixers have had 2 huge opportunities here in this past week between the Simmons game and then this MVP matchup. And they're just okay. It just sounded like a regular season game to me, which it was. But take it to another notch, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted out. I wasn't even joking. Like, right now, this is a tight race for your guy trying to win MVP. He's playing. He's trying to send a message. He wants the damn thing, and obviously wants to get his team to the championship in Embiid. Where are the MVP chants every time that guy's at the line? And I know he's at the line a lot. Some people were saying, "Oh, what about our vocal cords? We can't do that." Come on, you got to play your part. You got to give him an MVP chant every single time there's a nationally televised game. You got to send. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but I'm with Trey. I thought it was a little subdued, the crowd of it.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a credit to the Nuggets for coming back.
Yeah,
they were down huge
in that first half. The Sixers looking great, up 19 points there, but then they lost that lead fairly quickly going into the halftime break there. And after that, and this is again, I think the bigger picture here. You've got to be concerned here for the Philadelphia 76ers because again, as Trey mentioned, the last 2 home games they've had an opportunity to show their sort of mettle. And they've kind of botched it both times. Now, it was a close game. They could have pulled it out, but you have to be really concerned because outside of Embiid, statistically, Harden had a good game, but he didn't have the juice. I don't think he had the juice in that one at all. Maxey was good, great. But other than that, you got Tobias Harris, did nothing at all. Niang, why he was on the court for so long. He was firing away those threes as if he's Ray Allen.
That's his thing, though.
Yeah, 2 for 10, but just bricked him as well. Danny Green, he looked about 1,000 years old there last night. And then Matisse Thybulle, I want to talk about him because his defense, I thought, his instincts are incredible. He had 6 steals where he's just like grabbing the ball out of the air. He's like Kawhi Leonard, It's like the ball's in the air and all of a sudden Tybulle's just in the lane and he grabs it.
Yeah, I think he was actually confusing Jokic. He's these cross-court passes work 99% of the time. How is this guy just materializing out of nowhere to snatch these?
But the problem for Thybulle is that he just can't shoot. He hit 1 3 last night.
Yep.
But the Nuggets are like, we'll let this guy shoot. And when I go back to my preseason prediction after watching Thybulle for Australia at the Olympics, like, get out and run the break. You can hit a couple of threes a game and you'll get that 12 to 15 points and you'll look great. But he just can't do it. And that's the real problem for Doc. It's like his defense is incredible. You've got to have him on the floor for that. But then on the offensive end, he just doesn't give enough. He doesn't go in there and just create enough opportunities, tip in, second chance opportunities or anything like that. So
I think all 9 of his points came in the first quarter, if I remember.
Oh, yeah. Even maybe the first quarter.
Yeah.
So Embiid's workload was just enormous last night. And he looked gassed as well in that last quarter. He was, hands on the knees and things like that. And
well, he had the hard fall there.
Yeah,
that was
a big fall.
What did you think about that call? They went and looked at it and ultimately called it a flagrant. Was that a JaMychal Green?
Yeah,
with
JaMychal
the block attempt. There's a lot. You talk about the collision test. That one in the air and Embiid went down hard. The thud that you could just hear from watching at home was loud, but Embiid obviously gets up and then they look at it and say, okay, flagrant. I thought this would be the huge storyline here. Maybe it would have been if Philly goes on to win the game by 1 or something like that.
That was strange because 7-footer going up, but he did the bring the ball to the side, and so JaMychal Green was going for the ball, but then the ball disappeared, and he hammered him on the arm, and he went down pretty hard. I think flagrant 1 was the right call. In the end.
Yeah, it was a big foul.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to toss him for it?
No. I mean, if anything, I'm saying it was pretty much a play on the ball. It was just an unfortunate dude falling. I don't think there was anything malicious from JaMychal Green.
Yeah, but the ball was gone, and he hammered him on the arms. It was either foul or. Yeah, it was just the way that Embiid went down that really resulted in the flagrant 1. It was tough. It was a tough call. But I don't know what happened. Embiid was focused in this game. He wasn't that joyous, yelling type guy. I think, as Trey said, he's not really a vocal guy with Jokic on the floor. He really respects him. But at the end, he just just missed a few possessions where he could have scored, especially with that 3 late. I think the 5th foul kind of threw him off, although he had a beautiful block after that 5th foul. Yeah, it was just a little disappointing, the ending, and James Harden's juice was lacking a little bit in this game. George Niang really was trying to make up for James Harden not being able to shoot. George Niang has got to shoot. They don't have any other shooters. George Niang's been 44% in the month of March coming into this game from three-point land. The dude can shoot, but with James Harden taking only 4 threes in this game, what are we doing here? James was good at making everybody better last night, but he's the super duper duper star that needed to shoot a little bit more. And I'm sure on his brain he was saying, all right, this is Embiid's night. But at the same time, we've had since the Nets scenario, that Nets game where he faded, then he had another game where he faded on the weekend against the Magic. Now 3 games in a row. Like, he was good again, but not great. Not great, Bob. And when you give away Ben Simmons and Seth Curry, you need this guy to be a superstar. That's what he asked for. And so that was disappointing for me, the biggest disappointment. Jokic is making everybody better around him. Bones Hyland obviously had an incredible night. Embiid had an incredible night, but there's a superstar on his team. Jokic doesn't have a superstar currently. Embiid has one, and he's got to be disappointed. I think he's got to be upset that Harden just wasn't incredible last night.
The co-superstar for Jokic and the Nuggets last night was the entire bench. I mean, led by Bones Hyland, but DeMarcus Cousins gave him really good minutes when he was out there, got into it with James Harden. They've got some, a little beef between them in the past. JaMychal Green, I thought, was great. Even, Rivers and Forbes doing their part. All those guys, a plus in the plus-minus box score, so they were contributing.
I think it was 50-14 in bench points scored, and that's just huge. That's the big problem here for Philadelphia, is they're very top-heavy, and they just didn't get any production out of that second unit.
So when it comes to the actual MVP race, I was thinking this through last night, and sort of we're gonna brainstorm this on the fly. But I'm like, if we were to look at this, and we can include Giannis if you want to, and that's the only 3 you can really include at this point, that who's going to win this thing. If we were to do a scorecard, and I were to give you guys like categories, I'm interested to hear like who gets the tick in that particular category that I came up with for an MVP sort of decision. All right, and what I mean by that is like the first one, team record. Okay. The Bucks are 43-26. The Sixers are 41-26. The Nuggets are 41-28. So yeah, you got the Bucks and Sixers, 2nd and 3rd in the East. Nuggets are 6th. Tass, you've brought this up before. To some people, they look at that and go, "Oh, well, that means Giannis and Embiid, or their team is better," but their records are basically the same. Mm-hmm. It just happens to be that one is in the Western Conference and they're currently ranked 6th. So to me, that one, that's really just a wash at this point.
Yeah,
is that fair? Like, you're not giving anyone the nod there, or are you saying, well, come on, Giannis, they got a 62 win percentage right now. It's a little bit better than the other guys. That's a tick for him. Or
I'm giving him the check.
Okay.
I'm giving Giannis the check on this one, especially because Brook Lopez has been out for a huge chunk of the season. We'll get into that. I'm sure that's one of the categories, missing teammates, my least favorite category for MVP voting. Who's not playing? That will decide who's the best player in the league. But I also do think the Bucks have kind of taking their foot off the gas a little bit during this season, but they're still been the best somehow.
Yeah, I'm sort of calling that category just a wash. But then you get to basic stats. This might be the same thing. Just straight up basic stats. What I mean by that is most people, the casual fan, are going to go points, rebounds, assists. Giannis, 30 points per game, 11.5 boards, 6 assists. Embiid's 30 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. And then Jokic doesn't score as much, but is 26 points per game, 14 rebounds. Yeah. No, I'm like obviously rounding up here a little bit. And then 8 assists. I mean, who gets the nod in basic stats is how I call it.
I probably lean to Jokic in that one because I'm actually surprised when you said only 11 rebounds for Giannis. It feels like he gets more than that.
11 and a half.
Okay. But I'll go with Jokic, and we saw a couple of just outrageously gorgeous passes last night from him. So I'm going Nikola. Check.
I mean, to me, I don't know about you, Tass. Again, that one, just straight up basic stats. Those guys are basically those are all elite numbers across basically all 3 of those categories, especially for the size of these guys.
It's going to be a 3-way tie when it comes to MVP
right now,
voting.
I had it a 3-way tie after these first 2. Okay, then advanced stats. This is where it gets a little different. Giannis and Jokic are tied right now with a 32.4 player efficiency rating, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, would be like the best ever. That's amazing.
Possibly, yeah.
Embiid right there, 31.2 PER. And then you look at all the other advanced stats, I think you brought it up maybe a week ago, Tass, that StatMuse tweet that sort of showed them all. Jokic leads in a majority of them.
Yeah.
Like your true shooting percentage, your rebound percentage numbers, your assist percentage numbers, your box plus minus, your win shares, your VORP. Are you a big VORP guy, Lee? Value
Massive.
over replacement player?
Massive VORP. I'm a big VORP head.
You always have been.
Yeah.
So that's a tick for Jokic. It just is. The advanced stats. And that's like, that's just, that's the numbers. That's Schumann-like numbers there.
Oh.
All right. Here's where I want to get your take. Defense. Trey, your favorite stuff when it comes to a player. Is it Embiid or Giannis? Because I don't think it's Jokic. I think that's where he's a step behind.
It's a tough call. It's a tough call. I'm going Giannis. I think if there's one player who could guard every player in the league, it's Giannis over Embiid.
I'm definitely Giannis in this category.
Definitely?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But Embiid's great, but Giannis is better.
And Tass, if you had to tick in one of them.
Yeah, I guess a slight check to Giannis for sure.
Okay. I think there are a lot of people out there that still would make the case that it's Embiid.
They would, for sure. But I think Giannis, though, covers more ground, and I just would pick him as a better defender than Embiid.
Okay. A couple more here. Shout out to Ben Gulliver with this one. The availability is the best ability. So Jokic has played in 62 games, Giannis 58, Embiid 55. They all basically played the same amount of minutes per game. It's right around 33 minutes per game. Though Jokic, because of the games played, has played about 200 more than Embiid. Giannis in the middle. For Embiid, 55 games is pretty good.
Yes.
But do you hold it against him for MVP 2022 that, Jokic has played more. Giannis has played more than you.
Yeah. Is it 9 games more Giannis has played?
It's 7.
7. Yes, I do give it a little nudge there to Giannis.
No, Jokic has played the most.
Oh, Jokic has played the most. Sorry. Okay, yes. Yes, I give Jokic the advantage in that category, yes.
Okay. But you really is it, I guess what I'm saying is Embiid missed enough that you're going to hold it against him?
Well, if it's 10 games, then I think that does count against him, yes.
He missed 9 being in COVID protocols.
Yeah.
I don't hold that against him at all.
That's
so,
tough.
I mean, to me, of all the things that are a wash so far, games played is kind of the biggest wash.
Okay.
Just because, I don't know. It's a weird season. Just like last year was a weird season. Just like the bubble season was a weird season. So to me, talk to me about what you're doing when you're actually out there, more so than not playing.
Here's a very subjective category. Who has the best highlights? Is it Jokic hands down because of the assists?
Cool.
Is it Giannis? Is it Embiid who has some monster? I mean, that's a tough one. I'd lean. Well, go ahead.
Well, I think Jokic is certainly more finessey plays. The sort of wow, did you see that?
I mean, he had 2 passes last night that
just
were
incredible.
Whoa.
Giannis seems to have more power, sort of jam dunk moves, I think. And then Embiid doesn't really get as many dunk highlights, I don't think, as Giannis.
Okay.
I don't think.
So you're leaning.
I'm Jokic. I'm going Jokic.
Yeah.
In that one, yeah.
What about you?
I don't think it's a question. It's Jokic. Yeah. If it's Embiid, his highlights are watching his footwork make magic. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's really just an incredible size man doing what he does. Giannis is sort of the same. Jokic, he's got the awkward shots, which sort of make for highlights because you don't think they're going in, like we saw last night, and the passes. He wins.
Ja Morant, I'm going with for best highlights here. Highlights ain't factoring in my vote for this one. I mean, what's Jokic's best highlights? Game-winning blocks?
Yeah,
that's
probably.
Weird.
Yeah,
that's pretty weird.
Passes, I'd say.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't think his passes have been as notable this season as they have been in the past. Like when he's whipping like the water polo passes and stuff like that.
He had the frisbee pass to the corner the other.
Yeah, the guys aren't knocking them in as well. That's the other problem. He's had a couple of those where he's had those.
Well, that's
crazy
not a
passes.
highlight. That's a highlight that wasn't. If a guy misses, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's not a category. Don't worry. And again, these are things that I'm thinking that people take into consideration. I'm not saying you have to. You just said I don't give a shit about highlights. I think
these guys, nobody really cares about big guy highlights. I'll say that. I don't think at all. Tell me Giannis's best highlight. Tell me Embiid's best highlight. You can't this year.
Yeah, because Jokic's got better ones.
Yeah,
I think, you're right.
You're like the passes.
Yeah.
I don't think the passes are that great this year. I think they're numerous. I think he's thrown some great ones. I thought he had a nice look away last night.
that was sick.
But that was just
Tobias Harris not
easy.
playing defense.
That's easy for Jokic.
Okay, head to head. If you care, let me just break it down because we see them go head to head last night. Jokic beats Embiid, though we already talked about it. A lot of people saying Embiid outplayed Jokic when they were head to head last night in the game itself, but Jokic gets the win, comes through sort of in the clutch. The Nuggets and Bucks, when you look at Jokic and Embiid, The two teams have split their season series, but they only saw each other once, too. Those two guys. Jokic had a triple-double in 28 minutes in a 36-point win.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
18, 10, and 15. He shot 7 and 9 from the floor. And Giannis, bad game for him. He had 29 and 9, but he struggled like shooting the ball and at the line in that one. And then finally, Giannis and Embiid, they've only matched up once this season. Right before the All-Star break, Philly won that game by 3. Embiid with 42, 14, and 5. And Giannis had an awesome 32, 11, and 9. I guess what I'm getting at here with that one, I mean, no one is like, whoa, they are dominating the other guys when they've played in these very few games. That's sort of a wash, too, for me. And then the final one is, and people definitely consider this, Trey, and I think you would admit it, the narrative around the player. So who are you missing on your team in Jokic's case? Oh, no Murray, no Michael Porter Jr. Same with Embiid. Oh, well, Ben Simmons and that weird cloud that was hanging over the season. Giannis maybe less so in terms of the narrative. It might even go against him having been a two-time winner. But who gets the tick in the narrative for this season?
Well, I think probably Embiid, because he hasn't won one and he's having his best season.
That comes into play.
100%.
Maybe unfortunately for some.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, but what you're breaking down here, this is what the voters have to deal with. You have to basically split hairs, and whatever category you have a sort of bias or favourite towards will tilt these awards.
Right.
So they've all got an incredibly strong case. So how do you split them?
It's not up to us.
No.
Thank God.
No.
Actually, we would love a vote.
Yeah.
Narrative tasks, who are you leaning towards right now with a month? I mean, there's still time to figure this out, too, but Giannis, Embiid, or Jokic?
Yeah, I guess it's Embiid who doesn't have one. I guess I'd go with that. I mean, I like the Jokic one of he will have the longest tenure here without a guy that's a star beside him. I mean, he's taken Monte Morris and these types of guys to a similar record to Embiid and Giannis. And I think Embiid will be hurt a little bit because James Harden's been there for 2 months when the season is all said and done. So it's probably Embiid because Jokic has won one, and that hurts. It's more.
Well,
it's
but that's
more
interesting
what helps.
because Jokic wins last year, but then he's playing better this year.
Yep.
Back-to-back's a big deal. Back-to-back MVPs. Only the greats win back-to-back MVPs. So I think that maybe does work against Jokic, saying, is this guy that we want to be a back-to-back MVP sort of character? He should be. I mean, he's obviously playing well enough, but I think the narrative of having 0 MVPs outweighs the winning back-to-back. So I think Embiid is kind of far in the lead with regards to narrative.
Yeah, it does feel like that, at least with the people actually voting from what you can sort of get from their, podcast interviews and stuff they're writing. But let's hear from everybody in the stream team, the MVP scorecard, how you scoring it right now? What are we forgetting when it comes to categories? There's lots more that you obviously can consider when you're making your ultimate pick. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we got to talk about Draymond Green's return, a lot of the other games last night, so don't go anywhere because our next partner, pretty cool little product. Let's talk about Athletic Greens, guys. If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, or a stronger immune system in a really easy, natural way, you got to check out Athletic Greens. I'm sure you all agree that most of us, I know Tass agrees, not huge fans of taking a bunch of pills or vitamins in the morning. But with Athletic Greens, you can get rid of all those extra vitamin bottles and finally make some room in your cabinet. Athletic Greens is an all-in-one solution that actually tastes good. You'll actually enjoy taking your daily vitamins. I've tried it. I like it. What is this stuff? It's one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods. Whole food sourced superfoods. A lot of foods. Probiotics. Adaptogens. All this stuff to help start your day right.
That's what I think. When I put Athletic Greens in my cup, these adaptogens, these whole source superfoods, feel good.
So check this origin story, Batman. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It was costing him $100 a day to fix that gut. So he created Athletic Greens after experiencing how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on your own. It's good stuff, man. It's better than Batman in my mind. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Especially here in the flu and cold season, it's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Done. Ad read.
Powerful, man. Daylight savings started over the weekend here, and unfortunately that means 1 hour less in bed on Sunday and Monday, really. It's both days, isn't it? You know, because the Sunday, it's when it happens, and then the Monday is the first day of it happening, so everyone's got to adjust their schedule, right?
Yep.
It's not just any hour we lose either. It's an hour on a Helix mattress. And that's an hour that you can't get back. Well, until later in the year, but you can't really get that back right now, and that sucks. Because if you have a Helix mattress, you want every hour you can get. It's legit, and I've enjoyed it so much. I even splashed out myself and bought a couple of Helix pillows. They hold up too. Go get yourself some Helix pillows.
Like a mattress for your head.
Exactly, yeah. They're great. Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. And if you're married like I am, consult with your wife so you can get the best one. You know, you don't just want to say, I like it like this and she can just deal with it. You want happy wife, happy life. Do that quiz together. Perfect. Because with Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way you and your partner sleeps, and you know it's just going to be a banger. So if you're looking for a mattress...
That's what's happening.
Yeah, well, there's some banging going on, of course. So if you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz, order the mattress you've matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. And I tell you, how exciting is it, right? We all get a lot of packages delivered, you know, the little box and the little envelope. When you get there's a massive box.
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
It is.
It's always like the biggest gift is always the best gift.
The neighbors are like, oh man, what have those guys got? You know, like it's awesome. You know, the kids come out, you're like, let me take that, kids. You know, it's great. And then you can do the big unboxing in your house.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We saw Tass do it once.
Oh, I know. It was great. Look, Helix, don't just take my word for it. Helix has got the receipts to prove it. They were awarded #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine, and Helix has been recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving sleep. So it's a big, beautiful mattress, and it helps you sleep. And Helix right now offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helix.com/nodunks.
Is the first question on the quiz? You gonna be banging on this?
Oh, who's not? I mean...
Yeah, we need a GIF. Lee's quote, there's a lot of banging going on as he crosses his legs. There's a lot of banging going on. As he crosses his bare legs here. And this
Getting excited.
It's normal, it's natural. I'd be more concerned if you're not banging. If we're all married here, I'd be more concerned if you weren't. So.
All right. Who's got the last one here?
Oh, it's me. It's me.
You gotta follow that up.
Yeah. Guys, I forget to do things, basic things, like drinking water, especially if I'm occupied with something like working or exercising or banging. I just added that because I actually had playing The Last of Us, but banging works too. It's just a waste of my time, as my son Jackson Doyle would say. Thank goodness for Liquid IV. 1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. Just checking, I got my camera on. And I need that because I'll do an hour on that Peloton over there and not drink a single drop of water. Yeah, it just doesn't occur to me. And then I'm collapsed on the floor. It's a terrible habit, but Liquid IV gets me back on my feet in no time. What makes Liquid IV so effective? The science of cellular transport technology, or CTT, registered trademark. I don't know. Sounds official.
Yep.
Liquid IV has incredible hydration flavors like watermelon, lemon lime, strawberry, pina colada, and more. And you know what else I forget to do? Eat, especially while drinking. I had a few pops over the weekend, but I barely ate. This was Saturday night. Brutal Sunday morning. And I'm not going to dance around it. Liquid IV, great for hangovers.
Yeah.
Just come right out and say it. Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or better yet, you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code NODUCKS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code NODUCKS at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com. Promo code NODUCKS.
All right, we talked about Cat and his 60 points. We talked about Jokic versus Embiid and that great game. But we got some other ones to break down here. And let's start with Draymond Green. Energizing the Warrior, especially Steph Curry in his return. Curry goes for 47 on his birthday. got Draymond Green.
Happy birthday!
Yeah,
Got you, Draymond. And congratulations to the Warriors on being title contenders again. Honestly, just like that is what it felt like to me. Steph, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green playing their first game together in almost 3 years.
Wow. Yeah.
I think Dave DeFore said something like 1,000 and change days.
Yeah, 1,005 I saw.
Yeah, there you go. Once I heard 1,000, I was like, that sounds like 2.5. Rounded up to 3. 47 for Steph last night, 7 threes. The Warriors hit 18 on the night as they were playing against the Wizards. A pretty easy one. A pretty easily won game, or a pretty easy win, whichever way you want to say it. But the big story, though, Draymond Green, he's back, baby. 20 minutes off the bench, a plus 24. Honestly, ridiculous stuff. Not a lot of defense in this one, and the Warriors didn't need it. Draymond had a whopping 6 points and 6 assists, but 3 of those assists were to Steph Curry for threes. Another one was to Klay Thompson for a 3, and the other 2 were for a dunk and a layup. You can just see how much more the Warriors make sense when Draymond Green is on the floor. They ran a play to get him an assist for Steph Curry basically as soon as he checked in. Both him and Steph were laughing as they ran down the court like, oh, we did it again. We fooled them. They're just completely different. They've got 2 screeners now with Draymond and Looney, so Steph can kind of go either way. You saw Steph shooting the ball incredibly well with Draymond on the floor. 7 of 9 for 3 when Draymond was playing 0 for 5 when he was off the court. The ball moves, the defense is better, and there's just more spirit. So 2 weeks until the Warriors play the Grizzlies. Gives Draymond 2 weeks to get up to speed, because that's going to be a big-time matchup for the 2 seed.
Yeah, he's on that minutes restriction, right? Only at 20 minutes per game, but coming off the bench looked pretty good. And I think Kerr said, the chessboard changes with Draymond out there, which is a great quote, especially for Steph. Like Trey just broke it down. All the looks a little bit easier, a little bit different.
Yeah, he came onto the floor. The ball went to Draymond Green, sort of at that high post area, the Andrew Bogut, the Draymond Green spot. They're running their split cuts, as they call them. Kevon Looney gets in the way of Steph's guy. Steph goes around the screen. Draymond, here's a shovel pass to you. Bang. Yeah, 7 of 9 from three-point land with Draymond Green on the floor, as Trey said, and 0 of 5 when he wasn't on the floor. Yeah, the big smiles, so happy. Yeah, they hadn't played in 1,000 days, him, Draymond, and Klay Thompson. I thought we were done with those monstrous numbers, with those stats with Klay Thompson being back, but I'd forgotten that Draymond Green didn't play with Klay Thompson here. And this is the last sort of part of their season. Everybody getting together here for these last 15, 20 or so games. And I think they feel good with Steve Kerr said, going to the playoffs, I think we're going to have a bunch of different starting lineups, a bunch of different rotations. They've worked so many guys in to their rotation, and they've got like a Jonathan Kuminga who's playing so great off the bench, giving them that young juice that these old guys, I think, really, really want. And I don't think that was planned from the beginning of the season. It just worked out that way. They've had like 21 different starting lineups. I think they've, really tooled themselves well here for the postseason. I think they are in a very, very good spot as long as Draymond Green is healthy. But yeah, people question back injury, what's happening? And so far so great. I mean, they've obviously done it really slowly here, but yeah, they got to feel super good with how many guys have come along, and the fact that maybe these injuries kind of help them. I think of Spurs rotations earlier in the 2010s when they just figured out, oh, this guy can play, this guy can play, this guy can play. We're going to give them big minutes in the regular season, and that happened with this Warriors team. They don't know who's going to play big minutes from night to night. With all these guys that have come through deep in the rotation, but they know that Draymond Green's going to be a 40-minute guy when it comes down to it.
Yeah, anything to add to Draymond's return?
Not really, no. I guess just whether or not he'll be in the starting lineup as the next game. I think they move Kuminga back to the bench and start with Looney. I figure that's probably their best starting lineup and get Kuminga's energy off the bench because he's very, very active at both ends. But I think you just want the experience out there to start. So that's really all I'm looking for. It's great when your first game back is against the Wizards because Draymond could really pace himself. And, yeah, you just see the way the ball fizzes around. Steph knows where it's going. Draymond knows where Steph's going to be, and it's like, okay, you just do your thing. And Steph, we haven't really seen a loose game like that from Steph for a while, where he just like, yep, 47, pretty easy points.
Next game here, Giannis leads the Bucks to their first win in Utah since 2001.
MVP.
Just a weird headline there. You don't see 2001 popping up all that often, but it's been a long time since Milwaukee has won in Utah. What do you think?
Yes, and so the team that wins, we usually give them the credit and say, oh, well, they outplayed this team. But this was did the Bucks win it or did the Jazz lose it? And I think you can make a strong case for both of them because it was a 2-point game with a minute to go, and Donovan Mitchell goes inside. Looks like he got fouled, but the foul wasn't called, and he just grabs Chris Middleton. Frustration foul.
Right.
They check it. They call it a common foul, but Chris Middleton's like 90% at the line. He goes and knocks down a couple and puts them up by 4. Then Donovan Mitchell comes down. Drew Holiday picks his pocket from behind. Bucks go down again and score, and then Donovan Mitchell has a couple of threes at the end, sort of not desperation, but threes to sort of, haymaker threes there. First one contested, second one wide open, and he clanked it. And the Jazz lose this game. And looking at it, I was like, Donovan Mitchell didn't have a very good fourth quarter. So I dug into it a little bit more. He hasn't been good in the clutch for the Jazz this season. In 27 games they've had, they're 13-14. He's made 27 total field goals. He's shooting 37%. He's shooting 22% from 3 in these clutch moments. And he's shooting only 53% from the free throw line. He's had more turnovers and fouls combined than assists. The Jazz have got a bit of a problem here in the clutch. Donovan Mitchell's their star.
He's their clutch.
Exactly. And Rudy Gobert is, we know he's an impactful player, but he's not got the ball in his hands. He needs guys to sort of, give the ball to him. If Donovan Mitchell's not scoring and shooting and turning the ball over, when it comes to clutch minutes, they've got to address this because Donovan Mitchell was asked about it after the game and he acknowledged it. He said, all season I've been bad.
Yeah.
And the numbers certainly back this one up. But that frustration foul, and again, it looked like he got hit. The replays were a bit weird. I couldn't tell conclusively that he definitely got hit, but he probably did. To give up 2 points like that to Chris Middleton in a clutch situation like that, that's very, very costly for your team.
Yeah.
So he has to be better. Mike Conley was good in this game. I actually thought Rudy defended Giannis reasonably well in this game. I think they did a good job. He still had his 30 points there. But really, when it came down to it, the Jazz weren't good enough, and it has to fall a lot of this on Donovan Mitchell. If he's not going to be able to shoot and score, then he has to sort of give the ball up. Now, no Bojan Bogdanovic, in this one for them. Still, everyone's missing players. Brook Lopez came back for the Bucks, looked fine, but bit of a problem here for the Jazz, and I'm not sure how they correct it because Mitchell is the guy you want the ball in your hands. He's the franchise guy.
Yeah, he just has to play better
in
clutch. And for those that don't know, obviously a game that's within 5 points in the final 5 minutes.
That's right.
Or, of course, overtime. 10 for 32 for Donovan Mitchell in last night's game. 5 of 17. He was jacking up three-pointers that weren't falling.
Yeah, he is their late-game offense, really. I guess a good sign is that Mike Conley has had quietly a good season and held this team together while Mitchell was out and while Gobert was out. I don't want to put a ton of responsibility on Mike Conley's shoulders, but he's been good. As a 34-year-old, he's coming through with a 40% three-point percentage. Maybe he's just holding back a little bit until the postseason where he's going to have to go off, really. I mean, the thing about this offense at the end of games is they don't have a playmaker beside Donovan Mitchell unless Mike Conley's making things happen. It's just in Mitchell's hands. And if Conley can take some of that, then they can be a team that goes deep. But if not, it's worrisome for sure that everything goes through Donovan Mitchell. Bojan Bogdanovic is having a great season shooting the ball, but he's just hanging, waiting for the ball to come to him. So I think Conley has to be a playmaker come postseason. And this is what they got him for, and hopefully he can be that, even though he's getting a little longer in the tooth.
And you said you slipped it in there. Brook Lopez returned, played 15 minutes. shot 1 of 4, got to the free throw line a little bit. 6 points overall though, threw in a steal, fouled a lot. But the Bucks are obviously ecstatic to have him back in the rotation.
He's big, and I think that's probably a lot of the reason that you saw 17 three-point attempts from Donovan Mitchell. They're just two big bodies in there now with Giannis and.
It lets Giannis roam. That's for sure.
Totally. But I guess I hadn't really considered it. Is Donovan Mitchell a Ferris wheel? Because it's not dissimilar to the Milwaukee Bucks with Chris Middleton in that, Conley helping out would be nice. Bogdanovich being available, hitting threes, that's nice. But the Jazz are going to live and die with Donovan Mitchell being their clutch guy. He's going to take the shots. He's going to be the one that has to lift his game in the playoffs. We've seen him do it in the past.
Oh, yeah.
But like Lee's saying, the fourth quarter stats this year are not great, and there's a lot of pressure on the Jazz at this point in their tenure as a team, and it all falls on Donovan Mitchell when it comes down to it in the fourth quarter. He also, I feel like, likes it that way. He would rather take every single shot in the fourth, but 17 three-pointers, that is way too many. Take a free throw. Get inside and try and get a foul. That's how you make some shots and kind of get your confidence going. Got to do more of that in the playoffs.
Yeah, is it possible that Donovan Mitchell is a larger Ferris wheel than Chris Middleton? Goes higher.
Sure.
Higher highs, of course.
Sure.
But maybe some lower. Well, I guess he can't be lower.
The lows are always the same.
Are the same. So I think it works. Because they're still low. Both either Middleton, maybe Mitchell. Let's keep it going here because we got a ton of other games. Scotty Barnes and the Raptors.
Wow.
Tass all over the Lakers early in the 114-103 win. It was weird. I don't know how much you watched this. I went to bed at halftime. I was like, that's it. They're not coming back. It's okay. Got a little interesting as the game went on, but the Raptors jumped on the Lakers. They scored the first 9 points in the game. They were up 33-12 after one. The Lakers were shooting 3 of 25 from the field and had missed all 13 of their three-pointers in that first quarter alone. And Scotty Too Hottie, I mean, he was everywhere. He had, I think, 15 of his 21 in the first quarter. LeBron was just getting angrier and angrier as this game went on, and he was a game time decision. Because of his soreness in his left knee, ends up playing 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's not good. But yeah, I think we can. Is it rest in peace, LeBronto? Is that over? I don't think Nick Nurse has ever lost to LeBron.
I
as
know
a head coach.
Gourmet Spud tweeted something that LeBron can't even get up for a humiliation of the
Yeah, I know.
Sad.
It's very sad.
I honestly think LeBron is just looking at the scoring title right now because he got 30 last night and he's like, just let me get that. That's all I can take out of the season. Set the record for the oldest guy to lead the league in scoring. He might do it. It's tough because Embiid is leading technically this morning, but that's what I think LeBron's playing for right now.
The Lakers are currently on pace to finish with the worst record a LeBron-led team has ever had. We're talking about his rookie year with the Cavs and his first year with the Lakers, 37-45. The Lakers need to go, I think, 8-6 to close out the season.
No chance.
Yeah.
They're not going to win 8 out of 14 games.
How nuts is that then? This is going to be the worst team, and LeBron is still playing at this level?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're a game out of the 10th seed right now. There's no way that anybody's going to catch them 11 through 15, but they're doing their best. The Lakers really do hate the play-in tournament. They're trying to tank their way out of it, but it just ain't happening. Just disgusting.
A guy like Scotty Barnes is going to destroy the Lakers because he works hard. The lane is open, and that's where he scores his points. I mean, Scotty's got it all. Other than the 3-point shot that'll come along, but Scotty he's working his ass off. So he has been thriving. He looks great. He's he's a Pascal light. Like you can run the offense a little bit through him, and he makes everybody better.
Yeah, Siakam no slouch either. 27, 11, and 5. Stealing a block in there, hit a couple threes, got to the line. He continues to play in an all NBA like level over the last 6 weeks at this point, maybe even longer. Yeah, this was just it was overly. It was legit one of those games that felt over in after 6 minutes of the game. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, they're just playing harder.
I'm surprised you stayed up until halftime after the first quarter.
You got to go to half because Trey's right. First half leads are fake.
Yeah.
Though there are a few exceptions if you're actually watching the game going, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
But I gave it to that. And again, it got as close as maybe 10 or something, I think, in the fourth quarter when I was checking this morning.
Yeah, a couple things as far as LeBron goes. Definitely the scoring title is the most prominent thing. But I think even before that, he's got to pass Karl. He's going to pass Karl Malone for second all-time scoring, even before that in the next few games with the way he's scoring. And I hope that the other Carl we talked about also passes Karl Malone. It's not going to happen. But I hope. I would rather Karl-Anthony Towns be the number one Carl in terms of scoring. But it's not going to happen, I don't think. I mean, that's a lot of points.
He started his career very young, though.
I don't.
What's his career average?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of can he play 25 seasons or not. We'll see.
To get the 37,000 points.
4 other games. I'll chuck them at you guys. Touch on them as much as you want. You want me to throw it over there?
Pitchers and catchers report.
All right, here you go. You want one at a time, or you want me to just chuck them all?
Give me chuck away, boys.
All right. Trey Young had 46 points. I mean, that also happened last night.
Yeah.
It's sort of overlooked as the Hawks beat the Blazers 122-113. Evan Mobley scored a season high, career high, 30 as the Cavs beat the Clippers in overtime. Big win for Cleveland, trying to keep a little distance between the Raptors, who are breathing down their necks there and trying to get into the actual legit playoffs. Terry Rozier shined as the Hornets beat the Thunder 134-116, and De'Aaron Fox scored 34. He's playing great right now, but no one gives a shit. As the Kings beat the Bulls, though, 112-103. You might give a shit about that.
Yeah, I do. This was a dumb, disappointing loss for the Bulls. 0 effort in the first half. They got down by 20, so I pulled the skeets and went to bed. But I was angry when I went to bed. I'm sure you were a jolly man. Yeah. Bulls did cut it to 1 in the fourth quarter, but the Fox and the Ox were simply too much. You mentioned it, 34-6-6 for De'Aaron Fox. His 3rd straight game with 30 or more. Bulls could not keep him out of the lane. 22-7-4 for Sabonis, who always plays the Bulls well, and he's played them 5 times this season. Could have played him 6 times. He just happened to miss one of the games back when he was with the Pacers, but that's weird when you play the same player 5 times. He also, I thought Sabonis had the defining play of the game. Second quarter, it was the Kings' ball. They take some kind of shot. There's a rebound. It bounces on the floor in the lane right in front of Vucic's face, and he just kind of, I'll take this rebound. Harrison Barnes pokes it out, dishes it to Sabonis, dunks right on Vucevic's head. Vucevic is like bleeding from the nose, and the Bulls had to call a timeout. And that to me was like the entirety of the game. Sacramento, more aggressive and just quicker all night. They had more points in the paint, more fast break points, more second chance points. And that's why the Bulls haven't beaten Sacramento in Sacramento since 2019. Really bad timing, too, for the Bulls because the lower seeds got closer. You mentioned the Raps won. Yep. Cavaliers also won their first overtime game of the season against the Clippers. And the Sixers lost. So the Bulls could have moved into 3rd, which is the juiciest spot in the Eastern Conference right now. Instead, they're sticking in 4th, and they got called scuffling and stumbling by the Associated Press. Not a good couple of terms to be called there. I don't know which is worse, scuffling or stumbling, but they're doing both right now.
Yeah, it's going a little bit like the Cavs season for the Bulls here, just sort of dropping off a bit. I mean, the Celtics, the way they're playing, you would think the Celtics are definitely going to overtake the Bulls for that 4th spot. So Chicago could end up without home court in the first round, which would be pretty disappointing considering the season they've had.
I'm with you. I'm trying to figure out when to buy tickets to go home to see a game. I'm like, am I going on the weekend? Am I going during the week? We'll see.
Yeah, you may not know until the final day of the regular season, unfortunately, because it's going to be that tight. Any other notes on any of those games? You excited to go down to the Fortress this Friday? We're going down to see Trey Young's on fire right now. John Morant coming in town.
Trey Young went to the wrong restaurant for the MVP, James. He was like, someone said, no, it's this restaurant. Like, we had a birthday party over the weekend, but because of the weather, it got changed at the last minute. I was driving to the first venue. Oh, boy. But then I got the message, no, they've changed it to this venue, so I had to swing. So that's what I think happened with Trey Young. He's putting up big numbers, but this one got a little hairy, actually, for the Hawks. They should obviously have gone in and won this. The Blazers aren't trying to win, and the Blazers were winning in the second half. So,
what are you giggling about? Got a little hairy? Is that what got you laughing?
Harry the Hawks.
Thinking of his legs over here?
No, I was thinking of the original. Harry must have loved it. It got a little hairy for the Cavs there, but Evan Mobley and Darius Garland pulled it out. Karis LeVert is big in terms of just alleviating a little pressure from Darius Garland. He's only played 5 games with these Cavs. He came back from an injury, and he's not getting the headlines, but that's important to help Garland, who was great in overtime. He struggled a little bit and turned the ball over a little too much, but I want to highlight Evan Mobley, who had 30, his career high, because people seeing Scotty Barnes lines, getting a few more headlines than Evan Mobley currently, but Evan Mobley is absolutely balling recently. So this matchup was great. Mobley versus Zubats actually was really good. Two big men going at it on both ends. But I think Mobley is holding off Scotty Barnes enough and Cade Cunningham enough for the Rookie of the Year award. I think it's his.
But can the Cavs hold off the Raptors for that 6th seed?
Gonna be tight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Question.
It's
Raptors
tough
obviously
with the
playing
record.
Pretty good basketball
Schedule.
right now. All right, so there's the games. Whew, lots on. A lot less games on tonight. That's okay. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, though, we got a fun tweet of the night and pick 'em results. Don't go anywhere.
I was browsing the Masterclass website this morning, looking at the latest and greatest classes that they have to offer, and one caught my eye. Become a streamer with Ninja. You know Ninja Lee, the gamer?
Yes, I do.
This guy, are you okay?
The man with the pump fake party.
Oh, he's been like coughing.
Yes, I do.
He was turning around as Trey was saying
Look at
streaming.
Are you sick?
Hey, you
No, I'm not.
Bring that stuff in here.
No. It's just when I get the mic in front of me, all of a sudden the cough is there. I'm just like nervous or something. I've got some nervous energy about me or something.
You are never nervous on this show.
Call me Purvis.
Nervous Ellison.
Call him Purvis. Wow, Ellis and Ellison. That's actually good. Anyways, Ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a streamer.
All right,
You know,
don't blow
Ninja-
your nose or cough or whatever. There we go.
Yeah. You follow Ninja Lee?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew you do. He's a gamer.
Yeah. I do know who he is.
Hold on, he's nervous.
Yeah. But on the surface, I can't ready to drop bombs. But I keep on forgetting.
Some stuff about ads. Anyways, Ninja's got a thing now. It's called Become a Streamer.
Okay.
I had a bit. We're streamers now.
Yeah.
It's gonna lead to, like, if we watch this video, we get our subs up. Lee sings a song, and instead he just sang a song.
Yeah.
So
Oh, well, now you're screwed.
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pick up at the second paragraph. That's just how MC does it. With Masterclass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. With over 100 classes from a range of world-class instructors like Ninja, that thing you've always wanted to do is closer than you think. You don't have to sit down and consume a full class from start to finish either. If you've got a phone or a laptop in 10 minutes, you can get your learn on anywhere and everywhere. With the new audio mode, you can even listen in your car while traveling. Might be fun to listen to the Lewis Hamilton winning mindset one while driving, but it might also get you a ticket. Nonetheless, right now, you can get unlimited access to every masterclass and 15% off an annual membership by going to masterclass.com/nodunks today. That's masterclass.com/nodunks for 15% off an annual membership. Terms? They apply.
This morning, my 4-year-old child was sitting at her mini breakfast table, scarfing some Lucky Charms, and I asked her to make my pick'em game selection for me. I said, who is going to win? The Detroit Pistons or the Miami Heat? She proclaimed, the Miami Heat! And then she farted. And she said, oh, my butt said no. So I said, great. Because I didn't want to pick the Miami Heat. I'm picking the Detroit Pistons. Sometimes you need help, finding what you want to say from an outside source, and that's where Grammarly comes in. It doesn't fart for you, but Grammarly is more than a spelling and grammar checker. It's an all-in-one writing tool that allows you to clearly and effectively communicate your ideas. Grammarly's free and premium features can save you time and give you the confidence of knowing your writing is professional. Grammarly helps you strike the right tone. You need to go informal, you're talking to friends. Sometimes you got to get professional. What I like is Grammarly Premium's full sentence rewrites, because I can get stuck. Sometimes if a sentence isn't great, I try and correct one part of it. Oh, this is where it is. This is where it is. But no, I just need a whole jumble. I need a whole restart, and Grammarly Premium does those whole sentence rewrites I like. Get through those emails and your work quicker by keeping it concise, confident, and effective with Grammarly. Go to grammarly.com/nodunks to sign up for a free account. And when you're ready to upgrade to Grammarly Premium, get 20% off for being our listener. That's 20% off at grammarly.com/nodunks.
Okay, let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Great tweet last night from @YourManDivine. Dan Devine. This was a funny one, I thought. I laughed out loud because we had Hubie on the call. Your man Divine wrote, why can't I pay Hubie Brown $150 for a cameo in which he talks about how I have the total game and also how I shoot it at a high percentage while moving the ball absolutely beautifully. So if you're J.E. Skeets, you love this tweet. You love what's going on in the replies. You love Scott tweeting back, okay, now what you like about this guy on his birthday is how he's adjusted. And you love Max chiming in with death, taxes, and give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And okay, finally you love Greg adding, I just want the, there you go, remark after I finally do something right.
There you go.
There you go. Hubie. He's got away with words.
You know,
and how old is Hubie Brown? Is
he's 89 or something like that. Yeah.
That is amazing.
I remember one of the first games we got in Australia was Game 6 Eastern Conference 89. Well, the playoffs actually, the 89 season, and it was Hubie and Dick Stockton on the call. Yeah. The Bulls lose that game to the Pistons and to get eliminated. And I thought, man, that guy's pretty old. That was 33 years ago. Hubie was on the call. 33 years ago.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Very, very happy to say I got a chance to meet Hubie when I was with Bonesy one year at the finals, and he was just incredible. Brent was said, this is Lee's from the, hey, how you doing? And we're just talking to Hubie as if like he knew me and we were friends, and he's incredible.
What you love about Lee Ellis, you love the hairy legs. You love what he's doing down there in the leg department. You also love he's got glasses. He's out there, he's looking for things. Hubie Brown, anyway, I thought that was a very funny tweet. I actually think, he's 89. He probably doesn't have time for this, doesn't need the money. But holy crap, do you know how many people would pony up $100, $150 for a friend's birthday to be like, hey, Hubie, can you do a video, a cameo for my man Trey Kirby? And he always would do it in like the Hubie tone there. Yeah. And with the, what you like about this guy, what you love about this guy. It'd be funny.
It would be.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing it.
I don't think so either. I don't think he needs to, but no. I know I would be buying a couple of them. I'd be buying one for each of you guys. Great tweet there from your man Divine. Okay, pick 'em results last night. It was that Nuggets-Sixers game. Philly favored by 2.5 points, so they had to win by 3 or more, and they didn't even win. This brought to you by BetMGM, of course. So that's a win for the guys that took Denver. And I know there was some confusion with the graphic.
Yeah. Let's go by what the graphic said,
I agree. I 100% agree. No, so Tass had Denver. You're 7-3. Trey had Denver. You're 5-5. I took the L backing Philly last night. I'm 5-5, and so did Lee. You're 4-6, so you're in last place right now. You don't want to be in last place when it comes to pick 'em because you got to eventually pay it off. So tonight, not a lot of games on because I guess we got the the first 4 as they call it in the NCAA tournament.
Okay,
maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. It's a tight schedule, 4 games, and I did mention it earlier. The big line of Miami at home to the Detroit Pistons. We got it at 13.5.
Wow.
The Heat have to win by 14 or over for Trey or Lee to get the victory. Skeets, myself, and my farting daughter took the Detroit Pistons 13 or less. It has dropped, though. It's dropped to 12.5, so I guess there's some money happening on those Pistonians. But yeah, big line. I felt comfortable taking the Pistons just because they've been playing so well.
Really well. Really, really well. But then the Heat have had a few hiccups here, right? And you just wonder, we got an easy team coming to town or a team lower in the standing. Let's just hammer them. It's always in play.
It's in play. I was looking over Trey's shoulder as he was going through everyone who's on Cameo after the Hubie Brown tweet of the night.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some of the people scrolling through, but nothing made me laugh more than what Trey's got on his screen.
Yeah, this was the one I had to click. No Hubie Brown, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
How about a Chuck Swirsky for $45?
45?
It's not bad.
No,
very
got a
affordable.
Raptors connection, got a Bulls connection. If you're going business, though, if we're going to show it on the show, it costs $245.
Oh,
Interesting.
right. Interesting.
Nice. So, I don't know. Maybe we each chip in $50, get a video of Chuck dancing.
We don't need to. Just follow his socials.
Just follow his socials.
Yeah.
That's true. You get that after every Bulls win. Are you still on Cameo?
Nah, I've retired.
Oh, you retired?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What happened?
Just did it for a while. Donated some money and then just moved on.
Okay, good for you.
Looks like we got 2 Skeets on here. J.E. and Ulrich.
No, I'm not on it anymore. I guess I'm still technically on it, but I'm not doing that.
Not available.
Yeah, I'm not available.
Sorry, you got to go for Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, he's not available either.
Oh, wow. I guess I got to get back on there. Corner of the Skeets market. All right, guys. Let's call it there. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok @nodunks. Get yourself an Athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. And reminder, later today, around 1 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, on the No Dunks YouTube channel, we are going to pick collectively our March Madness bracket. We're going to fill this out. We know next to nothing except we're taking the Jackrabbits going all the way to the Final Four. So yeah, we'll have a lot of fun just making ourselves look like clowns as we try and talk out these games and find out who the Cinderella picks are, who you're backing.
Oh, the group is filling up here.
Oh, that's yes. Okay, excellent.
Rin, Ziggy, the Wedgie Whisperer, Filthy Carge, Irish Springs. We got them all.
Okay, excellent.
Join up. We're gonna put the link in the everywhere.
That's yeah. For those listening to the podcast, make sure you check us out on Twitter, especially at NoDunksInc, INC at the end. If you want to get in and start your own bracket and see if you can battle the rest of the stream teamers and all the No Dunks fans out there and see who reigns supreme when it comes to pure randomization. Can't wait to do that, though. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, the best part about St. Patrick's Day, I'm looking forward to that, is the Guinness, but also just getting a bar of Irish Spring, having a great shower. I love a good bar of Irish Spring. It smells great.
It does.
Get away from the liquid for a day, you know? Sometimes you just get a little bored with the liquid. I just want me substantive bar. And it smells so good. It smells so good.
Embrace the day, people.